Morning, everybody. It is September 19th, 8:10 a.m. Welcome to my channel. Big day yesterday. FOMC cut 50 basis points. Surprised analysts, but didn't surprise the Fed Watch tool. Big cut. I've seen a lot of history of every time this happens, a recession follows when they do the first cut of 50 basis points. Obviously, every time is different. Will this time be different? Who knows? Right now, market's gapping up. Okay, we're gapping up. I think we just hit all-time highs in futures. I'll have to look at that again. We'll look at that in a second. Um, Pretty nuts. So, like I said, have to see how the market reacts. Right now, yesterday, kind of was a nothing burger. We kind of went right to the most share price of the month and the week. But this morning, from the open at like 6, there's almost no short activity, and we're almost 100% net long with thin volume. So we'll get into that. Um, Everything's up today. So initially, right now, market's liking it, right? I think we won't know maybe till tomorrow if this gets followed through or not. Okay. Without further ado, welcome to my channel. My name is Steven Gonzalez. I use volume profile, market profile to find structure in the markets, along with gamma exposure level, supply and demand, the most traded price of the year, the month, the week, and the previous day. That's my edge. That's how I look at the market. It's my roadmap. I love how it's structured, right? When you look at my charts, a lot of things are automatically put there. The only thing that I manually draw is supply and demand. I feel like that's kind of discretionary, so I like doing that myself. And that's basically what's going on, all right? Now, every morning, okay, hopefully you guys can join me every morning. Subscribe, set an alert, 8:10 a.m. Come chill with your boy. I give you what happened yesterday, what's happening this morning, leaders, laggards, news, economic calendar. If we'll go into upgrades and downgrades in the morning, price target raises and lowered, and then the main event. 8:30, I do the Nasdaq and the ES futures analysis. Okay, that really sets up my day. That is my roadmap for the day. Okay, now if if my roadmap comes into play, right now the analysis has to start from the open, right? That we don't know. Nobody knows the information you'll get at the open. But if they all line up, I'll do a trade, right? And then you can also see those trades, all right? My day trades and why I took them, all right, on my YouTube Shorts or my TikTok, all right? TikTok is here, Gonzo719 Trader, all right? Please check that out, all right? You can always follow me at X at Gonzo719, all right? And of course, if you enjoy my content, please smash that like button. That'd be much appreciated. All right, that'd be much appreciated. Now, I think we could jump right into the watch list, and let's see. Everything's up today, pretty much. Let's just see what's going on, okay? And if you're new today, welcome. If you're old today, welcome. Let's look at it. Okay. So, what do we got here? Ether. Remember that was down yesterday? Up big today. Up 5.6%, 5.61%. Bitcoin up 5%, 5.02%. Silver's up 2.67%. Russell, the rate sensitive Russell, up 2.65. Nasdaq's up 2.2. ES up 1.66. The Dow's up 1.22. Crude kind of pulled back a little bit, maybe getting some love, right? Rates come down. Let's see. Let's see if we don't go into recession. There might be demand for oil. Have to see. I'm still watching that. 10-year yield is up. Interesting. 10-year yield is up 0.92%, up to 3.72 yield. Gold holding above that 2600 is up 0.65. Dollar is up too. So interesting. Dollar's up 0.46. Remember, holding that support level. 30-year bonds being sold, down 0.55. VIX is down 8.5%. We're at a 16.68 VIX. Moving on to the Mag 7 Plus. Who's leading the pack here? Coinbase No surprise with Bitcoin's love. They are at 170. Okay, up 4.71%. AMD up 3.53. Nvidia's up 3.2. At Broadcom up 3.2. Tesla's up 2. I mean, everybody's up big time. You got Tesla, Meta, 2%er. Google's 2.2. Snowflake, Amazon 2%. Apple 1.8. Microsoft 1.7. Netflix 1.6. GE 1.53. JP Morgan up 1.23, Boeing up 1.12, and Berkshire Hathaway up 1.08%. Top sector stocks. Let's check those out. Qualcomm's up 3%. 3%. Cat up 1.95. Uber's up 1.85. We get the point, right? Salesforce up 1.77. Morgan Stanley, Home Depot, Goldman Sachs, Exxon, UPS, Disney, CVX, Chevron, Eli Lilly. Everybody's up. Now, who's up less a little bit? Costco, Visa, Walmart, McDonald's. This makes sense. Walmart, McDonald's, United Healthcare, PepsiCo. That makes sense. Johnson & Johnson and Procter & Gamble is down 0.21. That makes sense, right? Let's go to the swing trade list. Let's see what my swing trade world's going on here. Not that I don't swing trade other lists, so maybe I should change the name of this list, but that's the way I call it. Let's see, MicroStrategies. This is all Bitcoin related, 6.51%. Mara up 6%. Bitcoin ETF up 5.18%. Affirm up 5.13%. Riot, I think that's Wayfair, up 4.47. Unity Software up 4.3. Enphase up 4.16. Baba up 4.12. 4%ers. For Solar. So Solar Energy getting some love with Enphase and For Solar. Hood up 4%. GDXJ, Gold Junior Miners, is merely making a run here, up 3.95. ARM, Semis, Supermicro Computers, SoundHound, Alcoa, SoFi, Vertiv, Marvel, DoorDash. All right, let's look at laggards. Is there laggards today? Here's a couple. Five Below, Hawaiian Electric, I believe that is. Donald Trump down 1%, and TLT's down 0.24. That's about it. Everything's moving. Everything's moving. Let's go back to the guts now. Let's look at the guts. Semiconductors are leading the pack here. Semiconductors up 3.31%, followed by technology, the largest weighted sector in the S&P 500, up 2.37, followed by discretionary, up 2%. Communications up 1.48, industrials up 1.38. Then you got basic materials, energy, all up. Financials up 1%, real estate up 1%. That makes sense, right? Mortgage rates probably going to go down. Healthcare down. This makes sense. Up 0.57. Utilities up 0.28, and staples only up 0.07. That makes sense, right? Okay. They can get into the economic calendar today. Let's do that. All right. Well, today we have jobless claims. We have Philly Fed at 8:30. Okay. Probably hear some large orders hit the tape at that point. I'm not really thinking that this is going to do much. 10 a.m. you got existing home sales. So sometimes this doesn't do anything. Sometimes it moves the market a little bit. I'm probably not going to trade close to that. But if there's a plus setup before that, I would take it. But that's it for today. All right. That's really it for that. Let's get into some news. All right, let's see. U.S. bank stocks rises, jumbo rate cut eases default risk, cost concerns. U.S. bank stock rose after the day the Federal Reserve cut interest rates by 50 basis points, which is expected to reduce deposit costs and alleviate pressures on borrowers. All right, EU tells Apple how to open up to rivals to spell out how. EU antitrust regulators launch proceedings to ensure that Apple complies with landmark rules, requiring it to open up its closed ecosystem to rivals or risk a possible hefty fine. Let's see what else here. All right, let's see Alibaba's So the Chinese technology company released new open source artificial intelligence models and text to video AI technology, intensifying its efforts to compete in the booming area of generative AI. Interesting. Uh, let's see. Alphabet, Meta, and Microsoft. U.S. lawmakers questioned tech executives on Wednesday about their preparations for battling foreign disinformation threats ahead of elections in November, with both the senators and executives identifying the 48 hours around election day as the most vulnerable time. What else here? I saw Ford here. The United Auto Workers Union said on Wednesday it has set a strike deadline at Ford's tool and die unit. All right. Let's see. Let's see. Abbott Labs, Piper Sandler initiates coverage with overweight rating and a price target of 131. Five Below, JP Morgan cuts rating to underweight from neutral. That's why Five Below is down. And Procter & Gamble, JP Morgan raises the target price, even though Procter & Gamble is down, actually. That's about it there. All right. Juice didn't really have much. I'm going to refresh here real quick because sometimes they give you something. Not really. Oh, wait, here we go. That's what I wanted to see. All right, so we got Targets. Target stock rose 1.3 after the retailer named Jim Lee as its chief financial officer. Okay. Now it says Lee comes from more than 25 years of financial strategy and business experience at PepsiCo, a Pepsi company. Um, Amazon stock rose 1.9 after online retail giant detailed plans to raise pay for fulfillment and transportation workers by $1.50 per hour, while adding Prime membership to its benefits package. All right, Dell Technology stock added 3% after Peacemaker declared a quarterly cash dividend. We already know about Five Below. Charter Communications stock rose 2% after RBC initiated coverage of the telecommunications company with the sector perform rating. DoorDash stock rose 8% after BTIG upgraded the online food delivery company to a buy from neutral. That's about it here. That's about it. Let's go into the upgrades, downgrades. All right, let's just go to these real quick. I'm going to refresh this real quick to see if there's anything new. DoorDash does that upgrade, right? All right, let's go downgrades. Downgrades, what do we got? Five Below downgraded. We already know that. And that's really all that's really important. Initiations. Abbott Labs initiated overweight. Just talked about that. Charter communication sector performed. Just talked about that. Let's see what else here. NextEra Energy initiated a hold. All right. Let's go to price target changes. Target raised. Let's see here. T-Mobile target raised 200 to 215. Spotify target raised from 460 to 510. Hood target raised 23 to 27. General Mills target raised 74 to 84. Carnival Cruise Line target raised 22 to 25. All right, now getting to target lowers. Nike target lowered 112 to 109. That's really all I have. Target lowered. All right, that's about it there. I think we're done. Alrighty, we can move on to the daily charts, folks. Let's do it. Let's go to that daily chart. All right, folks, let's look at this daily chart together. All right, so initially we made, all-time high again at 568.89. Okay, then the market closed down here, right? That could have looked at as bearish. Ain't bearish no more. Okay, so where we at now? 570.40. 570. This is say 570.42. 570.42 is above yesterday's highs, gapping up. Okay, up here. All right, now let's look at the futures, how that looks. Now all-time highs is 57.85. We have not reached that yet. Big candle here. You can see here these lows here, right? It's just these lows have been holding, and now we're pushing up, right? You had two wicks here, selling wicks. We're above that now. You got a little bit of a wick here, but 5785 is the all-time high. Do we reach that today? Probably a good shot at it. We have to see though. Okay, we have to see. You can see this is not last month's highs, but the previous month before that's highs. Okay, so that's futures. This is back adjusted. This is not continuous contract, so this is back adjusted. All right, so let's go on to the Qs. Let's see how they look. Now the Qs, look at this downtrend line, right? Battling that downtrend line. Battling last week's highs, right? Close to this cluster of moving averages, the 90 MA on a daily, the 50-day moving average, and the 20-day moving average, right? That doesn't really matter anymore because look, you had resistance here, selling all around the 477 to 478. Where are we at now? 481.60. 481.60. So we're here. We're here. Okay, 481.60. Now the next resistance area would be last month's highs around 45. 45.55 to be exact. That's where we could go. We broke the downtrend, and our target today is probably 485.55. Write it down, 485.55. All right, where are we now? Like where are we now? 41. What did I say? 41.40. We're up here. We're up here. Okay, that's what the Qs are doing. Let's look at the live book of futures. Now just remember, Qs are not by the all-time highs. Okay, they are relatively weaker. Now look at this Qs, right? Wick, kick up and sold. Where? Last week's highs. Now we're above last week's highs. Can we hold it? Right now in futures, I just gave you the level in Qs. Futures, here's the next level. Last month's highs, 20,250, 2,250. Write it down. Write it down. Look to the left. Here's the resistance we're over right now. Is 199.20. 199.20. This could be a pullback to here. Okay, 199.20. All right. So all-time high 212.37. We're not close to it. We're not close to it. Okay. Have to see if you get follow through. Remember, we're coming out of ultimate balance. Big moves happen from there. Just don't know what's going to happen today. Okay, and from this candlestick, you can't tell what volume. That's why I love market profile and volume profile. You can't tell what's going on in this candle. It just looks like we're getting bought. Okay, can't really tell. So now moving on to the triple-headed monster. Let's bring up that 10-year yield, and it's getting a little buying today. Maybe this little was pricing in rate cuts, and we're moving up a little bit. Okay. But generally, when the Fed starts cutting rates, the yields will eventually just go down. Okay. But we're getting a little, probably some profit taking here in bonds. All right. Let's look at the dollar. All right. That dollar, interesting, is getting some love today. Well, it was getting love. Up 0.47. Now, where did it close? Why does this not? Is this one of the times the dollar's not cooperating here? The dollar says it's up 0.48%. Well, if it closed yesterday here, why is it below the close? That's interesting. I don't know why that's, unless something I'm not seeing here. Interesting. Interesting why it closed here, price is here, and it's saying it's up. I don't know if I trust. I don't know what's going on here. That's kind of weird. Anyway, we're hanging out down here. All right. Just got to see what's going on right now. Now let's really have to check this, right? Because it's my watch list is telling me the dollar's up. Okay. But it doesn't look up compared to yesterday's candle, so I have to see what the euro's doing. to really see what's real here. Because if the dollar is up, the euro should be down. Yeah, see, that's wrong. So the euro is above yesterday's close. All right, that makes sense. So the dollar, I don't know what's going on with us. Let's see what the yen's doing. Ooh, ooh, yen's pulled back. That yen has pulled back. That is good. That is a good sign for the markets, right? You don't want to see the yens keep going crazy. All right, let's look at the VIX. Let's see that VIX. All right, we kind of just been in this range, right? We're at 16.6. That's still around the 1% expected move, plus or minus in the S&P 500. That's 30 days out of fear. Just a reminder, 30 days out of fear. Okay. Now today, if we just explode, that should go down. That should go down. Okay. Now, moving on. We're going to get to the main event. That is the market profile, volume profile. All right, get ready, buckle your seats. All right, let's look at yesterday. We'll really zoom. It's all about this profile here, okay? Okay, so let's talk about this. I don't even know if I put this up. I think I did. We'll do it again. Not sure who's with me today. Say hi. If not, just watch. Haven't really looked at this much. Remember, I do this live. Let me get my marker out. All right. Now, first thing we always like to look at is the rolling profile. All right, rolling week profile. So here we go. Most traded price of the week and the month still here, right? Around 5,700. That's our value area, right? Now look what the market has done. Stretched out all the way up here. Okay. Running out of participants here. See this slope? You're running out of steam. Okay, needs to establish value up here in order to stay. Now I want you to look at this volume here. It's very important. Okay. And yesterday is not much to talk about. Yesterday did fill a gap up here, an old gap. Came all the way back, and where did it close? Close here around the most traded prices. That was like a nothing burger. Didn't really do anything. Okay. But now we talk about what an ultimate balance. Big moves happen from ultimate balance. Okay. Now, this is very important here. This low is a weak low and then a big time weak low. Okay. Because the overnight low lines up with ultimate balance. The overnight low lines up with ultimate balance and value area low from yesterday. Okay, so if we come back through here, that is not good. Okay, now the other thing we can talk about is inventory. Look at the overnight inventory. This is the only short activity to this much long activity. Okay, look at the volume. This is very, very thin. You got some single prints here until you get up to here, the most traded price of the overnight. Who do you think's up here, shorts or longs? Longs. So this is very, very slippery. This is not, it didn't do this, right? Consolidate, move up, consolidate, move up, consolidate, move up. It just kind of went like this, right? That's poor structure. All right, we got to get Elfie in the mix now. All right, what is that? What is this, right? Picture this, a little smaller bit of an elephant, and this is the toothpick holding it up. All right, let's get Elfie in the mix here. Where is he? There he is. There he is, Elfie. How long can that toothpick hold up that elephant? Don't know. Okay, you got to look at it two ways, right? So I got to notice that 100% net long. Overnight hands are weak, right? Overnight hands are weak hands. The weak hands in the market. Okay, I talked about this the other day. I'll call this 100% net long, weak structure, beautiful price is at the top of the range. Okay, most traded price of the overnight is here. They are long. Beautiful chance for a fade. Not bearish, just some type of correction, right? Now, what else we can talk about? I did have a nice trade yesterday. I had two of them. I had a short, and then I had a nice long yesterday. Pretty nice move. Pretty much de-risked. Went long, close to the bottom. So that was a nice trade. All right, let's talk about what other levels we're going to talk about. So here's our gap fill. Here's yesterday's lows, right? Here's overnight highs, overnight lows. Now, when you're gapping up, all right, let's get a better level here. So 57, what is that? 57, 55, 50 is your gap fill. That's yesterday's highs. Okay. It's interesting that this went right to the end of the supply, right? Found some sellers. Not surprised. Okay. Now, big move from yesterday. Now, here's some inflection points. Okay, we got our 57, 55, 50 is our gap fill. Okay. Our 50% retracement, the midpoint of yesterday's move is 57.3350. Lines up with this demand zone right there. Okay. Now, when we talk about gap, here's my gap rules. I'm only going to say this once. What's the most bullish case? Well, you gap and you go. Well, you know what? Go without me. I don't do that. I don't do those trades. Number two, what else we got? We can pull back, fail to fill the gap, and go higher, right? And then we're off to no resistance. There's all-time highs. No resistance. Okay. Number three is you pull back, you fill the gap, and then you take off as well. Okay. And door number four is not bullish, is when you start, well, I wouldn't say it's not bullish, it's just not, you don't have the strongest buyers. You start going back into range. Into range. Okay. That just means the buyers are not as strong at that point. Okay. That doesn't mean it's bearish, just means it's, you're not doing the top three bullish cases. That's the gap rules. Okay. Now, okay, we have our levels. Look at the week low here. That week low is at 50, what is that, 56.87. Right there. That's the week low with the ultimate balance. Okay. There we go. We got a midpoint, 57.3350 and 57.55 gap fill. All right, that's our levels. All right, that's our levels. Thin volume. Okay. All right. This should be very interesting. Very, very interesting. All right. It's going to be very important how the market opens up. All right, let's get right into the scenarios here. Let's do it. Let's do it. All right, so we're going to talk about the bull case here. Market's pretty strong pre-market, okay? That could all change. All right? That could all change. Now, whenever I talk about thin, the alpha, doesn't mean I'm bearish. Doesn't mean I'm bearish. Just means that there could be a corrective move. Okay? Now, if I'm, like I said, I'm looking long. I'm bullish today. Okay? Well, 57.55, that gap fill, I'm going to watch. Okay? I'm going to watch that. I'm also going to watch that 57.3350, that midpoint with this demand zone right here. Those are on my radar. I think I'm only comfortable looking there. Okay, I don't want it to go back under here because I don't want to really think about longs here. This would be a failure if we start to come back in, and that's very bearish. We'll talk about that later. Okay, so what do I want to see? All right, so we got that most traded price up here of the overnight. Now let's just give you that price. All right, make sure you not have this price on your radar here. That is 57.72. Okay, now what I'd love to see is we open up, push up, make all-time highs. Okay, lower high, lower high. If you go through this, now don't get me wrong, you could, this is another long scenario, you could wind up holding this, holding this, holding this, and if I see the market starting to firm up, that could be it. It could hold this level. Okay, what's the other scenario? Correct it. Those are longs up there. They need to be corrected. You got thin volume here. Come down, fill the gap, and you're off to the races. Okay, you're off to the races. Now, if we correct more, we take out this single prints, we take out the gap fill, and then we start making our way into this demand zone and the 50% retracement of yesterday. Okay. Well, I want to see how the market reacts in here. Get some lower highs. This could be the move, right? The market's still strong, and that could be the move. I'm probably, after that, I don't want to look long, right? So that's the longs. Now, let's talk about the short side. All right, let's go over the levels I said. 56.87 is our weak low. Okay, bulls do not want to go below that. Very bad. Okay, very, very, very bad. So right here, this area, bulls got to defend it. I don't think that's likely if we come back down here. Okay, now we talked about 100% net long. Everybody is long with the thin volume. That sets up for a nice correction, right? Let's take care of this new business before old business. Okay, most traded price of the overnights here. So what do I want to see? I would love to see, boom, go up, set all-time highs in real-time trading hours, come through that most traded price and try to hold under it. Higher low, lower high, lower high. You just got a bunch of thin volume here, and I think you fill the gap. You probably do a little bounty bounce, and then you can boom, go right down to this demand. Now this is remember the bull case. What do we do here? Is the market scared? Are they throwing in the towel? Are people taking profits and going, oh my God? I don't know. We'll have to find out. But if we do this, and we do this, we do this, and then we break that demand and we kind of start holding. Now, that's 50% retracements here. You start holding and holding. Guess what? That thin little toothpick, all right? Bring in alpha here. Should not support the market. And we should go boom, right down the ultimate balance. Okay, if we cut through the ultimate balance and push through this weak low, 56, what did I say, 56.87, and we just start a little bit holding here, this is a total reversal, and we can start pushing, and you're going to make a big outsized move lower. Okay, that would be a look above and fail. Okay, because check this out. Longs really not got hurt. Longs never got hurt. Longs really never got hurt. Longs really never got hurt. Longs never really got hurt yet. So those people who are long there, you reverse this move, they're dumping. Okay, they're dumping. Just have to see. Don't know what will happen. Okay, I'm just an observer. That's the scenarios. Okay, let's move on to the NASDAQ. Boom. Here's NASDAQ. Let's see what we're looking at here. Now the NASDAQ, remember, not by all-time highs. Okay. Still in ultimate balance. Okay, let's look at this together. Let's look at structure. Now I'm not going to go over gap rules because I already did that, right? So let's look at it. Profile, thinned out here. All right, got a little thin volume there. Then we got our ultimate balance right there, those levels. Then another distribution. And then we got a little bit of the lows here. Okay. Now again, market needs to develop value up here, right? They want to make value follow price. If price can't make value come up, you go right back to value. Okay. So we're in supply right now. Nasdaq's in supply. Okay. In supply. Now, same stuff's going on here. Now you do have a little more volume here. Some pockets of volume here. A little bit. Okay. Multiple demand zones. Right. So what's our key in this case? Right. It's different. It doesn't really line up like the ES exactly. Like with the levels being right at the lows. You don't really have that as much. Okay. So, but I'd still, look at the same levels. Now we got gap fill 198.99. We got the midpoint of yesterday 198.20. Okay, those are the levels to look at. All right. And remember, we're not by all-time highs. We're in supply in Nasdaq, in supply right now. So you need to take this out. You need to take care of this supply zone. Right. However, let's look at it together. We're gapping up. So let's look at this together. Look what could happen. Right. Remember, this has been relatively weak. Let's do it. Let's go right into scenarios. Okay. I'm going to start with the bull. All right. Start with the bull. And we got multiple demand zones here. Okay. So what I would like to see. All right. There's a couple things here. You got the most traded price right here overnight. It's really 20,000. Okay. Bullish imbalance. It's kind of like needs to push up here. Okay. There is single prints that we are in from the past. That doesn't count. These do not count as being clean because it's the overnight session. Okay. That does not count. We're in a big supply zone here though. Okay. So what I would like to see is usually overnight highs. Well, in the ES, we're at close to all-time highs, so we're not here. So disregard what I just said. What I would like to see here as a bull, a couple things that can happen here. All right, this most traded price 20,000. Let's just say we do this, break the supply, and we come back, and let's say we hold this. That could be the long. All right, to go up to this naked VPOC of a past. Naked VPOCs are just untested most traded prices of the day of the past that have never been tested. Okay, it could hold this and we just run. That's one. Okay, that is one. Now, if we get the corrective action because we're 100% net long here in the Qs, we go through this, whoop, and you have single prints from the past here, right? You got one demand zone, and the end of it lines right up with the gap fill. That could be boom. Okay, and this one here is right underneath the gap. You could also land here. And as long as that market stays strong, it doesn't get too weak, and this is just corrective profit taking from the weak hands of the overnight, you can start making your move up higher. Okay. All right. So that's really all I'd probably interested is longs. Okay. Now shorts, you're in supply now. Remember, 100% net long pretty much at the top of the range with the most traded price up here. Very good recipe for corrective action. All right. You don't have as thin as the volume as the ES, but it's still pretty thin. We'll bring Alpha in again to say what's up. There he is. So have to really see what we do. Okay, so if I'm a short, what I'd like to see, we're in supply, right? boom, come up, correct this profile. And if you come through here, well, you're going to probably test this demand zone, right? That could be it. But what if we break this demand zone, fill the gap? That could be it too. But we're talking about a bearish case, right? We start slamming through these demand zones and we go to that ultimate balance level. That's the most traded price of the month, 197.85. It's all about, in the NASDAQ, what do we do at this level? Do we hold it and balance? Or bearish side, break through it and hold it? That is not good. This demand zone probably doesn't stand much of a chance. And you take out that overnight low. And then you're working off these lows here from 195.74 to about 195.29. And you can rip into this supply, the demand zone, and I think we just go, don't know how far, but it's going to be pretty bearish. Okay, so stay above here. Ultimate balance in the NASDAQ is bullish. Below it, bearish. All right, that's it, folks. That does it for today. All right, that does it for today. Hope you enjoyed the analysis. I think I might have just had Rosita watching me today, and that's perfectly fine. Even if it was just my grandma, I would be happy with that. All right, because I do this no matter what. It's part of my process, and I'm glad that anybody comes and joins me. Okay, so make it official. Subscribe. Set an alert. All right, be a subscriber. Trying to push this number up here. And if you enjoy my content, please give me a big thumbs up or a like. Smash the like button. That would be much appreciated. You can always follow me on X at Gonzo719. All right, and check out my trades. All right, you want to see what I do when the market opens up and why I took it? You can go right to my YouTube Shorts. You can also go to my TikTok, Gonzo719Trader. Okay, now I'll leave you with Elfie. You know how I feel about Elfie. That is not an easy trade. However, it's very important to understand it. Okay? Now, the one thing I didn't mention, I'm going to mention it one more time. When I mention Elfie, okay, there's a reverse Elfie. There's an anti-Elfie. So let me give you the opposite side of this Elfie. All right, what do I mean? If this weak structure holds, that's bullish. Okay, if the toothpick holds, bullish. So you have to look at it in an unbiased way. If I see that weak structure hold, and I'm like, okay, that's holding, that tells me the market is not weak, because that weak structure should get taken out if the market is weak. Okay, if the market holds weak structure, that's bullish. That's very important to understand that. Okay, when I first started trading and I first learned about single prints, oh my God, they're gonna get cleaned all the time. I always thought, oh my God, I love single prints. This is the best thing ever. I wish I used market profile from the beginning. Oh my God. But you have to be very objective and just look at it and go, here's single prints. What are we doing in it? Because they should not be supportive in a weak market. If they're supportive, it's a good probably shot to go long. All right. I'll leave you with that. Everybody have a great day. Stay green and be patient. Okay. Tomorrow's quad witching. Okay. So we'll see. A lot of money comes off the table tomorrow. All right. Everybody have a great